Hey everybody, I'm Ethan.
And I'm Sean.
And this is another episode of the Vitamin E Show. Today we're going to be diving into a beginner's guide to getting started. So if you're starting your fitness journey, if you're just joining the gym or whatever it may be, this is an excellent episode to kind of show you, outline some steps to take and kind of help you with the preparedness before you start those steps and a pretty good guideline for your first 2 weeks. That's what this episode is all about. So hope you guys enjoy and let us know what you think. Hey everybody, so this is our beginner's guide. If you're just getting started, just joined the gym, thinking about joining the gym, or maybe starting a workout program at your house, whatever it may be. This episode is all about beginner's guide to getting started with your health and fitness goals, whatever they may be. So, a few things we're going to address first before we are going to lay out some kind of practical advice as far as first couple weeks and how they should look and what you should do, that kind of thing. But first off, there's some preliminary things you need to understand, you need to be mentally prepared for, and the first most important thing, in our opinion, is determining your why. So why are you here? Why are you doing this? If your goal is you want to lose body fat, or if your goal is you want to gain muscle, why? Why do you want to do those things? If you don't really understand your why, it's going to be hard to keep yourself motivated during those times that you're not, you're having a bad day, you don't feel as good. It's going to be hard to maintain that motivation, or I guess it's really, you never really maintain the motivation, but it's going to be hard to have the discipline to push past those bad days if you don't really understand your why. So determine what you really want to do, and not just what you want to do, but why you want to do those things.
Because nobody just wakes up in the morning, hey, I want to go sweat today, or hey, I want to go get sore. It's, you come to this conclusion that this is what you want to do because there's some type of change you want to make, some results that you would like to achieve. So, in order to get there, you have to understand what it is that you want. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So after you've determined your why and you know what it is you want to do and why you're going for that, the next thing you need to understand is that change is necessary. So when I say that, what we're about to tell you is really what we do as coaches on a daily basis. If you were our client, and what kind of conversation we would have with you, getting you going, and how we do our jobs, essentially. But you have to understand that things are going to change. I've been doing this for years, and I change stuff all the time. Number one, because there's tons of different options and ways you can do things, different eating formats. There's all kind of things you can do for your particular goal. And even there's tons of different options even for fat loss or for muscle gain. So, in order to understand what works best for you, you have to try different things. But also, when you do something, even if you find something that works fantastic, the progress will slow the longer you continue the same path. So you have to swap things up, on a fairly regular basis, so you can keep making progress until you get there. When you're just maintaining, it's a different story. But when you're on the road to get to where you want to be, you're going to have to change things every so often. Every few weeks, you need to reevaluate, you need to change things, and just do something different. Shock the body. You're going to have to change. So, people that have to have the routine, I get it. Have routine, and just have that routine for a few weeks. This is my routine for the next 4 weeks. And then we're going to change that routine. Now you're going to have a new routine for 4 weeks. And it doesn't necessarily have to be time of exercise or anything like that. Like, you can keep yours. Obviously, you can't control when you have to work or when you have class or when you got to go pick up kids or any of those things. Those are kind of things in life that you don't have control over. But, within reason, you can change your training and nutrition programs and still fit your lifestyle. And you're going to have to do that to maintain progress.
And it may not be too dramatic of a change either. Like the training side of things, it may be doing very similar movements, just using different forms of resistance,
or different grips.
Exactly. So
there's not a million different ways to do a bench press. Barbell, dumbbell, Smith machine, or cable machine. Exactly. And there's a few other options there. But there's not 500,000 different ways to do a bench press. But when you factor in grip placement, barbell versus dumbbell versus cable, incline, decline, flat. Then there does become, hundreds of different variations of that same movement that all trigger the chest in just a little bit of a different way. So, that's why I personally, I try to use a different grip every week. If I'm doing, I may do flat bench press every week, but one week I'll do barbell with a wide grip. One day I'll do dumbbell. I really squeeze the top and get my hands close. One week I'll do a close grip. I change it up all the time. So, it doesn't necessarily, like he said, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to overhaul your training program. It's more so you can change weights, sets, grips, how long you do certain things, what you focus on, all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a 100% overhaul, but you will have to change things up occasionally. The next thing you understand is that this shit is not always fun, Like, there's gonna be bad days. There's gonna be days you don't feel like getting in the gym. There's gonna be days, for me, I always love to work out. It's eating. Sometimes I just don't feel like eating the meal that I know I need to eat, Like, I just want to not eat for this meal. That's a personal struggle. I'm a really big guy, so I have to eat a lot more than some people do. I'm 6'6", so it's there's a lot of food I gotta take in, more than him. He doesn't have to eat quite as much as me, even if we have the same goal. So you're gonna have things that are a unique challenge to you, and you have to understand that there's gonna be days that you don't feel like it. There's gonna be days that you would rather just lay in bed, and those are the days that count the most. Because when you're highly motivated and you go do it, that's awesome. But those moments when you have to make the decision in those tough moments, those are what's I call those snowballing your success. So every time you have the desire to get off track, to have that thing you shouldn't have, whether it's nutrition or whether you're going to skip a training day, that decision to say, know what, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go, even if the workout's half-ass, which I've found that on those days especially, your workouts are usually pretty good because you're exhibiting a lot of willpower and discipline to go do it, and then once you get going, you're actually very proud of yourself and you push yourself harder. But same thing with nutrition. Like, when those moments when you really want something and you choose not to, and you have the better option, you're supposed to eat anyway, like, you feel so much better afterwards. You're very, very proud of yourself, and what that does is snowball success. So, just understand there's going to be bad moments, there's going to be weak times, and you need to push through it. I'm not saying that you can never cheat or never do anything or never take a day off. You should have rest days oriented into your training program. So, there's always room for change, but you need to think of every decision as either snowballing success or undoing everything that you've done. That's how you need to view it. And when you start to view it that way, it gets easier to make those decisions. Another quick thing as far as nutrition goes, like when I'm wanting something really bad, I have a craving, and I want to go off my diet, I just think back to every time that I've done that, and I've given in, and I've had whatever it is that I was wanting, and I think back to how I feel after I did it, or how I feel when I step on the scale the next morning, or how I feel, post, gluttony. I'm never proud of myself. I'm always, man, I shouldn't have done that. And if you're honest with yourself, you probably feel the same way. Also, I think about how it literally makes me physically feel. Like, when I eat shit, I feel like shit. Mm-hmm. So when you get on a diet where you're eating whole foods and you're getting enough protein and you're getting a lot of vegetables and different fruits, and you're getting you're increasing your micronutrient level and you don't even know it, but you're getting those things, you start to feel better, you have more energy, and then you eat shit and it's like, oh, I feel bloated, or I don't,
Learned that the hard way there.
Yeah, and we all do it. It's going to happen. And just the point is minimizing it,
And add to that, when you have those bad days, you have to learn from it. You can't harp on things that you can't change. You can't go back and undo this terrible day that you had, this cheat meal that you had, that workout that you skipped. All you can do is take that, learn from it, and do something different moving forward. Take the next step in the right direction there.
To a certain degree, you could undo a bad meal with a really kick-ass workout, but you can't outrun a bad diet. So please don't take that to the extreme. But you can't undo it, and a lot of people let that knock them off their schedule. Like, they make one mistake Friday night, and then, I'll just start back Monday, and blow it out of the water all weekend long. One really, really atrocious weekend will undo about 2 weeks worth of work, maybe less, maybe more, depends on how atrocious that weekend is, what that food was made up of. But just because you make a mistake, you have a binge meal, maybe it's not even a binge meal, maybe it's just you eat, you were planning on eating one little slice of cheesecake and you had 4 instead. Like, that's not going to undo your whole 2 weeks, but stop right there and get back on track. Like, just learn self-control. And when you really, really, really learn self-control and you get to a place where you're, at a pretty healthy and fit level, and you have like a base level of metabolism, strength, muscle mass, you can do more little treats and be okay when you're just maintaining. So it's just learning the lifestyle, really. You don't have to be flawless all the time, but understand you're going to have bad moments, you're going to have weak moments, you're going to have times you slide on track, and just don't let it throw you off. Don't let it derail your whole program. Just get right back on it. The very next meal, start back. So you understand that, and then kind of after that, and alongside with that is their sacrifices have to be made. You need to understand that going into this. You can't just continue life as normal and work out. You can't really just continue life as normal and work out. To a certain degree, it's going to affect your time. That's probably the biggest reason we see people quit and or not get started is, I think I don't have time. And the honest truth is everyone has time for what they want time for. You can make time for whatever you want. You can make time to go to the movies, or you can make time to go exercise. When you learn how to be more efficient with your exercise, which we can help you with, but you don't have to work out for hours on end to get the results. It depends on what those goals are, or how much you need to exercise. But being efficient with your exercise. If you're in the gym for 2 hours, I can almost guarantee you are not training properly. If you can go in and train for 2 hours, unless you're like super experienced lifter, you're not training hard enough. You shouldn't have enough gas in the tank to go for 2 hours that hard at the level at which you need to go to get the results you want. So
this might sound a little blunt sometimes, but I mean, coming from the training standpoint, like if you have determined this is what you want to do already, like it comes down to making it a priority
and how bad you want it.
Yeah, how bad do you really want it? Like if you can't find 30 minutes in your day at least to where it may be not watching an episode of your favorite show that night, or going to bed early, waking up an extra 30 minutes to an hour to make time for what you want to accomplish, then it's not something that you're really dead set on doing, and you are going to struggle.
Yeah. Or when you call into the gym to find out how much we cost and you don't have time to set an appointment, how do you think you're going to exercise if you can't set an appointment to come in and just speak with us about the gym? Like, it's total bullshit. You have time, you have to make the time, and you have to make some sacrifices. It's just, the reality is you can make time for whatever you want to make time for. And that doesn't mean you have to stick to my workout schedule or Sean's workout schedule. Like, it's totally individual, but you have time. You just have to make that time. And, we see this a lot. People call in a lot and, well, I don't have time. And then we start asking, we dig deeper, because that's what we do. We dig deeper. Tell me more, because we really want to help you. So we dig deeper. Okay, what time do you go to work? Well, I got to be there at 8. Okay, what time do you get off? 5. What are you doing after? Oh, well, I got my daughter's thing at 7:30. Great. So we have 2.5 hours between 5 and 7:30 where you can come in and spend 15 minutes and look at the gym. Be real with yourself. Don't create problems that aren't there. A lot of the problems that we have are created right up here. So just to a certain extent, get over yourself and just get after it. It's just what you have to do.
Because this is a lifestyle. And you have to, like you said, it's not something you just add into what you're doing now. Is you make adjustments to your current lifestyle and make this fit if it's important to you.
Yep, make it fit. So there's that, and then the last thing before you get started is you need to decide what you're going to use for measuring progress. We at the club, when you do a fitness consultation for like getting started, we always do like a before photo, and we take your measurements, your weight, body fat, inches. I know some people are scared to step on the scale. I think it's necessary. Like, you need to monitor how your body changes and how your body responds, or it becomes very hard for us to do our job. If we don't have a clear measurement system to judge progress, it's really hard for us to make changes to a program. Otherwise, we're just guessing and throwing stuff at a wall and seeing what sticks. So that makes our job a lot harder. So, and it's going to make your job a lot harder if you're going to follow this advice and do it on your own without the help of a coach or without talking to a coach. It's going to make it a lot harder for you if you're not measuring your progress. Because even if you don't care about what the scale is, I don't care about what the scale says. I don't care, but I take my weight every morning because it is a method of measuring progress. I know that our body fat readers, unless you have an underwater weighing system, they're not the most accurate thing in the world. There's a margin of error there, and I don't let it be my end all be all, but I still take the measurement and I watch the trend. Like it's how things trend over time. Looking for short-term, fast answers is just not how this works. So you need to understand it's over time. So,
like, in order to make any changes and see the results, like, you have to have that baseline. You have to know where you started, because you're not going to see the half inch that you lost over the course of a couple weeks, or that 2-3 pounds that you dropped off. That's not something you're going to look in the mirror and, oh yeah, I can see my results. You're going to look.
People can when they look at you because they don't see you every day. You wake up and you look at yourself in the mirror every day, and so you don't notice these little bitty things. That's why I love photos. Just take a photo of yourself every week. It doesn't have to be like full body bikini picture, like get your husband to take it, or vice versa, get your wife to take it. Like it could just be in the mirror. Take a picture. And take a picture over your shoulder, and take a picture from the side, and just do that every week. You'll be able to see progress if you put those next to each other. So that's keep yourself motivated. Give you avenues to keep yourself motivated. Kind of running up on time, so we're going to jump in really quick to your first 2 weeks. So go through everything we just said, the preliminary guidelines, and then this is what you should do week 1 and week 2 getting started. And this is pretty much what we would do with a new client. We have to get to know you. We have to see how your body responds to things. And so this is the best thing you could do on your own. So week 1, log everything you eat. It doesn't have to be MyFitnessPal. It doesn't have to be on an app. It makes it easier for me. I like to use MyFitnessPal. It's a really great app, has lots of food database in there. It ties right into our Anytime Fitness app. So it's a good tool to use, but you don't have to. You can just use a notebook. You can write down what you eat, but you need to write down what you eat. And I mean everything. I've told this in another episode of the Vitamin E Show before, but I had a client I was working with. We were trying to drop body fat, and I was looking at their diet, what they were bringing me, their food log, and it looked spot on. And I'm just like, you're lying to me. This is not what you're eating. There's no way. If you're training with me, and I know your training sessions are hard because I'm pushing you, and your nutrition is, if this is what you're eating, you would be getting results. So digging deeper, and I found out that they were dipping their chicken in barbecue sauce every single time they eat chicken. Do you know how many grams of sugar are in like 2 tablespoons, which is a serving size of barbecue sauce? Some of them are upwards of 20 and 30 grams. Some of them are lower at 10, 15 grams, but it's still a lot of, those are calories and they're pure sugar, and you have to count them. So, write down everything you eat, everything that goes down the tank, everything you need to write it down.
Just talking about it, it's easy to, forget to tell your trainer about that, little Reese's cup that you had early on in the day. And all of those things will add up. And like I said, it's easy to forget, but if you see it, you can look back and, oh man, I'm really eating all this stuff.
And some people, which is sometimes more often than we see people overeat, you're undereating, and that's also making you fat, and you don't understand why. Well, your metabolism slows down. We explained that, and you can go back, and it was like 2 weeks ago we did that in the vitamin. It showed how your metabolism slows down over time. So, undereating is a big deal too, and just learning like how many calories, and like you need to measure everything too. Like you don't want to like eat a cup of rice. That doesn't mean eyeball it. Like measure what a cup of rice is. Once you learn what that looks like on your plate, then you can quit measuring, but you need to do it repeatedly to learn what it looks like. Weigh your food. Like, it's a pain in the butt, I know, but you need to do it. It's an important part of the getting started process so you can learn what it looks like. And a really quick tip on that is learn to see food as fuel. You don't put more gas in your car if you have a full tank, do you? No. Why? It's going to run over and spill over the place. The same thing happens to the body when you eat too much fuel. So food is fuel, not just a pleasure. So learn to see it that way, and it really will change how you look at things. So log everything you eat. Log your exercise, but more importantly, how you feel before and after your exercise. So just really quick, could be 1 sentence, could be 5 sentences, doesn't matter. I feel good today. I had a good day at work. I was productive today. I feel energized, blah, blah, blah. This is how I feel. Work out. And then at the end, I feel gassed. I feel tired. I feel like I could do it again. Whatever. Be honest. Be 100% honest. You're not going to get anywhere for lying to yourself. Be 100% honest on all of these things: how you feel before the workout, how you feel after the workout, and how hard you push yourself. If you take a look at my training log, there's days in there where it says, I feel like I half-assed it today. I needed to go harder, and that happens. It's going to happen, but be honest about it. Because if you come to a trainer and say, well, I'm eating chicken and broccoli every day, well, except for, well, I did have that ice cream last night. Oh, and I did have that slice of pizza the other day. Like, write everything down. And I trained really, really hard. Well, like that other day I left early. I had to go pick up my kid. Like, things are going to happen. Write it down and log it. So otherwise, you have no method to measure and know how to progress and get better and fix things. You have to log it. Absolutely. First 2 weeks, absolutely necessary. Do those things. So that's week 1. Just do that. Don't worry about many other things. Don't worry about trying really, really hard to like figure out your macronutrients. If you want to take it that far, I would suggest figuring out what your basal metabolic rate is and what your estimate of your total daily expenditure, like on a workout day and a non-workout day, and that's how you concise it down. We would do that with a client, but that gets kind of technical, so we're not going to dive in that right now. But just log everything first. Exercise. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, because at the end of the day, like I said, in order to make a change, you have to be aware of exactly what you're doing currently.
And you have to be aware of what needs to change.
Yep.
So that's all for week 1. Week 2, do everything as week 1, log again, full week and everything, and then also on your second week, focus on getting at least 80 ounces of water a day. Minimum, it is your job. Today, I have to drink 80 ounces of water. Where that number comes from is that's just kind of the general accepted guideline for like a healthy amount of water and not too much water, although you're not going to drink too much water. But for those of you watching that are going to spaz out when I say to drink a gallon of water a day, just drink 80 ounces. More water. The more water you drink, the less water you hold, contrary to popular belief. Drinking more water doesn't cause you to add water weight, it actually causes you to lose it because your body feels like it has enough, so it cleans your system out really well because it has a good supply of water. But a lot of water is good, at least 80 ounces. I would say more to a gallon if you can, but at least 80 ounces that second week in combination with doing everything you did in the first week. Measure those results. And beyond that, it gets really, really individual, very, very technical, and it kind of, it's too much for us to dive into this to tell you exactly what to do. We would have to talk with you. We'd have to kind of learn about you and see and look at the data, but it's impossible for us to give you good advice without having the data. So
that's where we take everything that you've been logging, tracking, and if it's, if you've kept up with everything perfectly, we can adjust accordingly. And just to the results that you've been getting. That's the only way that it works there. So.
Yep, and it really doesn't have to be miserable. It really doesn't. And when you really focus on getting all the nutrients in you need, it's more challenging to eat enough. You don't feel hungry and stuff. You're like I have to eat again. That's more the challenge than more so than I'm so starving. I haven't met one person that I put on a nutrition plan and they tell me they're hungry all the time. It just hasn't happened. It doesn't usually happen. If you are, a giant eater and you eat 5 times a day, massive meals, you probably will feel hungry changing up your routine. But, for most people, you're usually under eating, and so you're going to feel more full. But over time, you'll start to feel more hungry, and that means your metabolism is speeding up. So you want that. Feeling that hunger feeling is good. It means your hormones are in balance and your metabolism's revving. So that's all for our beginner's guide to getting started. And there's lots of variables in there, but we made this video so some of you that are maybe too intimidated to come talk to a coach, or you just want to do it on your own, or you want to start out on your own, this is really, really good advice to follow getting started. But always do remember, we provide this for you at the club. You can come by and set an appointment with a coach. We will go over these things. We'll take it a little further too and do like a movement screen and kind of see where you have some muscular imbalances and things you need to work on. It's really, really helpful. We do it because we want to help you. So if you don't want to do all this on your own, you want a little bit of guidance, just give us a call and we will set you up a time. You can come in and get rocking and rolling.
Yep.
And you have any other thing to add?
No, pretty much covers it.
Cool. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next week.